I'm Eli Troyer with Kaufman Realty Auctions, and I'm an auctioneer and a realtor out of the Kidron branch, as well as a partner of the Kidron branch of Kaufman Realty. So I got licensed as an auctioneer in 2013, but I actually joined the company and got licensed as a real estate agent in 2015. And it's been really good. It's been a good company, it's been a good fit, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today without having that support and having the resources that they provided for me. Oh man, there's many aspects that I appreciate about being a part of the Kaufman Realty team. Probably one of the #1 things that I have come to really appreciate and value is the culture that we have within the company. I think there's a high level of respect and appreciation among the agents, and I think that's probably one of the aspects of Kaufman that I really appreciate. So what makes Kaufman unique? For me, again, I would just go back to the family aspect and the culture that we have. The fact that there's, like I said earlier, there's a lot of respect. There's a high value on relationship, and I think there's just really, really good relationships that I've developed amongst other agents within the company. And so we have the ability to celebrate each other's successes and then walk with each other when there's adversity, whether it's personally or professionally. And being a part of that type of an organization or a company gives it a family feel. The idea of being a part of an organization or something that is bigger than just you as an individual is, I think, what makes Kaufman unique to be a part of. So since I joined, which is now approximately 10 years ago since I joined, I've seen a lot of growth. Obviously, we've added a lot of agents. We've seen offices, new offices being added, including the office here in Kidron that I've had the opportunity to be a part of. But along with that, and maybe more importantly than the growth of agents and auctioneers and staff and offices, is I feel like we've really grown as a company in our ability to serve our clients. I feel like that is still probably the most important part of growth that I've seen within Kaufman Realty, even though there's been growth in all aspects of the company. I think thanks to the leadership of Kaufman Realty, we have been provided with resources and tools to better serve our clients. I've also seen us grow in the area of just being more intentional with how we serve our community with a CARES team that has been put in place specifically to serve our community when there's needs within the community or within the company. And so I think there's still room for growth. I think that we're still a company, we're always growing, we're always looking to grow, but I think that's one aspect or one area that I've seen a lot of growth in is just our ability to serve you as buyers and sellers. Oh man. One of my first memories of working for Kaufman was probably in Worcester. There was a small real estate and contents auction. I think Pat Kaufman was the lead agent on it and Dave was there. And I just remember being handed the microphone and being asked to help sell the contents and just kind of feeling a little intimidated having Dave there and him handing the microphone off to me to sell some of the typical household estate stuff that you would imagine. So that's an early memory. Along with that, kind of a similar that really probably showed me who Dave is as a person was also actually an auction in the Worcester area, but it was a benefit auction, and he had me come and help. He asked if I would come and help him with this nonprofit to do a little, I think it was an art auction. And so I came up there to help him, and he very quickly handed the microphone over and said, "Here, I'll just support you, you do it." And I'm like, "Dave, are you sure? Like, I mean, you drove all the way from Sugar Creek up here to Worcester only to, promote or to give me the opportunity or kind of to grow as a young auctioneer." And I think it really showed me the heart behind who Dave is as a person, always looking to push other people ahead of himself and probably also seen it as an opportunity to create growth in my own career as an auctioneer. And so those are some early memories of coming into the company and memories of working with Dave and Pat and the rest of the team here at Kaufman. That is a good question, and I love these questions because it gets me, or makes me reflect a little bit as to some of the opportunities that we've had. And I think I can think of a lot of auctions that have been a lot of fun, and obviously more importantly than any auctions that we've had the privilege of doing, it's the relationships that you gain through the auction business and those opportunities. There's one specific one, I mean there's many, but there's one specific one that comes to mind of a farmer in the Ashland area that was downsizing due to not necessarily having the next generation interested in taking over the farming operations. And so we came alongside of him to help him disperse his equipment and the real estate. And we developed an incredible relationship. And as a matter of fact, he just came back here in the last couple months, stopped in at our office, brought in food, and we just reflected on, you know, how significant that transition has been, but more importantly, to now see him in this next season of his life. He's loving retirement. He's not truly retiring because farmers don't ever officially retire, but seeing him enjoy this next season of life and having that relationship still intact when we see each other. And I think that is a very fulfilling aspect of what we do in the auction business. It's very rewarding, and it has everything to do with the relationships that are developed. And then when you're fortunate enough to continue those relationships into the future. And so that's one, I guess, specific auction, but I think that probably also just represents a lot of the auctions that we do. It's much more than just a transaction, but it's the relationship that comes with it. I think there's several things that stand out about Dave Kaufman that I've come to really appreciate, that I think probably would be keys to the success that he's been able to have and our company has been able to have. And a few of those, I've alluded to it earlier, is his ability to put other people's interests ahead of himself. I think there's a selfless aspect, and sometimes we refer to the idea of servant leadership, but I think in many cases it's also sacrificial leadership. As I've seen him sacrifice maybe some of his own successes for the success of other people within the company and within the organization. And I think that is one of those keys that I really appreciate about Dave. Along with that, obviously Dave's getting along in years. He's had 50 years in the business, and he still cares just as deeply about the success of every auction that we do. So many times when we're getting done with an auction or driving home from an auction, I'll get the phone call from Dave, well, how'd it go tonight? If he's not at the auction, which he's still at many of the sales, supporting us and you know, helping us at the sale or calling the sale. But if he's not there, many times he's calling us saying how'd it go, and then shortly after that, he'd ask the question, was the seller happy? And I actually think that should be on the back of the shirt somewhere, because that is something that we hear in the company all the time is, was the seller happy? You know, was the seller satisfied? And were we able to serve the seller well with the auction or whatever transaction that we get to be a part of? And I think, you know, for Dave to still have that level of care and commitment to the community, to the company, I think is just a testament and maybe probably the number one key to what has made him successful and what will make us successful as we move forward. What is the future of Kaufman? I think that there's still a lot of opportunity for growth. I think I've seen where we've come from in the last 10 years since I've been a part of Kaufman Realty, and obviously looking at the bigger picture over the last 50 years, it's amazing the growth that this company has experienced. I think there's many keys that have helped the company go from where it was to where it is today, and I think some of those same keys that helped us become who we are today is what will continue to help us grow into the future. And One of those would be Dave's willingness and flexibility to learn, regardless of the amount of success or how long he's been in business. He's modeled what it looks like to be open to new ideas, whether that's in the realm of technology or the softwares that are, always evolving and changing, but being on the forefront and being on the cutting edge of what is available to us as agents and auctioneers to better serve you, our clients, and our buyers and sellers. And so that's one of the, I think, keys that'll allow us to continue to grow. And then obviously our commitment to how we care for our clients and how we care for our communities. If we can continue to have that same burning question as, was the seller happy? I think that'll be another key, I guess, to us being able to grow and what I want the future to look like. I want to be able to do that personally, and I want to see that as a company, that is our commitment, is to the client, being open to new ideas, and so that we can continue to be in the forefront of this industry and the community that we're a part of.